Welcome back to another Epidose of these crazy guys that just eat meat and never stop talking about it. Today we're doing another short ribs video, a short, concise explanation of one topic. And what is that topic in this video, Justin?
Today is one of my mortal enemies, oxalates.
Oxalates. So what's an oxalate?
Oxalate is a defense chemical.
It's not a tiny cow?
Not a tiny cow. No, not an oxalate, not a little ox. Is a defense mechanism in plants, usually cruciferous greens, your kale, your spinach, things of that nature, your chard, very high in oxalate usually.
Cactus.
And basically your body has, depending on your genetic makeup, a lot of people have a big issue pushing them out of the body, excreting them. They end up calcifying in the body, becoming little crystal substances that can get stuck throughout many different parts of the body that can literally be seen under a microscope. Unlike most plant toxins and things like that, they can mostly be felt, or that it's mostly a chemical composition. These can literally be seen, not with the naked eye, although with the naked eye, actually.
Yeah, some of the large ones can, for sure.
Yeah, right. So this isn't, this isn't esoteric at all. This is very real.
If you're not really squeamish, then go ahead and Google oxalate crystals and see the horrific pictures of them in people's brains, heart muscles, and so on and so forth.
And primary cause of kidney stones is oxalates.
I think the global number is like 80% of all kidney stones are caused by oxalate. So when the body gets too much oxalic acid in it, it tries to find ways to store it because it can only eliminate it certain times through certain processes. So it combines it with calcium to neutralize it. And that's where most kidney stones come from. I think we were talking to our buddy BNS yesterday, and BNS was saying that over in India, it's like 93% of all kidney stones are caused by oxalates. And you got to wonder, as common as kidney stones are, why haven't we heard of this before? Why do people blame it on things like calcium or not drinking enough water? And this is neither of which really are the cause at all. The cause is eating foods too rich in oxalates. And like Justin said, we all have a different threshold for how much we can process out. And I know in the autistic community, it's well known that autistic people tend to have higher levels of oxalate. Nobody knows exactly why or exactly what the implication is of that, but you do find that there's differences among people and how much they can tolerate. So you could conceivably consume a lethal dose of oxalic acid just by having 3 green smoothies. There are a few rare cases where people have eaten like cactus soup. They're eating cactus soup all day. They made a big pot of cactus soup, and then all of a sudden they get very sick, go to the hospital and die. And that's oxalic acid poisoning. But of course, the real problem for most people is that over time, it accumulates in the body. The body can't get rid of it fast enough, and it can cause things that are exactly like gout. Because what happens is, just like with gout, you get the little crystals from the uric acid. The uric acid is precipitating out of the blood in a solid form, and it winds up in the joints, like maybe your big toe, which is a real common problem. That could also be from oxalates. You can get oxalate crystals in your big toe, and it looks exactly like you had gout, but it's actually the oxalates. So anyways, that's something that people don't know. And of course you kind of treat it the same way. So people could have an oxalic acid crystals in their joints and think it's something else. Could seem like arthritis or gout. For women, there's a condition called vulvodynia. There's a whole vulvodynia society out there dedicated to helping people with this problem, or helping women with this problem, because for women, the oxalic acid can concentrate in the vulva, and then it makes it very sore and tender. It can, obviously be uncomfortable just to sit, much less, have intercourse or something like that. So, it's a big problem for women. A lot of women, we hear this frequently from women who went on the carnivore diet, and they had never heard of vulvodynia. They had no idea that oxalates or oxalic acid could cause such a problem. Never mentioned by the doctor, never saw it online. Uh, their girlfriends never heard of it. So, and then they're like, yeah, it went away. And it's like, it's amazing. And then they find out about oxalates. And then it's like, well, but oxalates are in all these foods they've been telling us are so good for us, like spinach. I mean, Popeye's been selling spinach for like 75 freaking years, right? Little did he know he was causing a problem for people. So, when you're eating spinach, you're really just eating your food's food. Shouldn't do that.
Right. And it can be quite shocking for people because, a lot of, the smoothie, right? The green smoothie was supposed to be like, it'll cure cancer. It'll,
Right.
give you so much energy. It has like all your vitamins and all that. The more kale, spinach, chard, if it's green, it goes in there. Who cares if it tastes like a lawnmower, you know?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I know
and
my
you
sister bought me this smoothie one time and I was drinking it and it smelled exactly like a hot garbage can full of lawn clippings that have been sitting there for a couple days. It's exactly what it smelled like, but they made it taste better by putting pepper on top. Not, it was horrible. I had to apologize and say, look, I know you spent a lot of money on this thing, but I can't drink it. I tried. I tried to be healthy for a minute there with my sister pack. This is probably 15 years ago. But anyways, yeah. If it smells nasty and makes you feel sick, don't drink it.
Right. And that's just, 12, 16. I mean, I used to drink the juices that were 16 ounces of that, like imagine the amount of oxalates I was getting was crazy. And, you talk to vegans and stuff and maybe Tom, you can say whether this is accurate or not, but a lot of people that are vegetarian get a lot of urinary tract infections, and maybe that's due
Common
to the
complaint.
oxalate, build up, before they get kidney stones and all that. There could be getting, just the first stage could be these, urinary tract infections and other groinal illnesses that we've heard about.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're getting kidney stones, UTIs, joint pain, stuff like that, just look up high oxalate foods. And figure out if see if you eat too many oxalates, you also turn into a ghost like Justin is right
Yeah, apparently. It's just
uh,
talking about it.
did you pass on and not say anything? Come on. So, anyways, yeah, if you're having problems like that, look it up. You could look it up for yourself. Look at what high oxalate foods are. See if you've been eating a lot of them, and then maybe do your own little experiment. Back off on the high oxalate foods to see if your symptoms get better. We have noticed a number of people they stop eating any foods with oxalates in them, and what happens? The body starts processing it out, and the reportedly comes out through the skin, tear ducts. It'll show up as calculus on the teeth right above the gum line. It comes out in the urine. People have said they've actually seen crystals in their urine. And we do know that what seems to happen instead of kidney stones growing, they start to crumble. So it's like the body seems to be like, oh, okay, I finally got the capacity to get rid of these oxalate crystals. So it starts dissolving kidney stones, which is an interesting thing that here you got this kidney stone that's been growing and somebody may not even know they have it. And then all of a sudden it starts coming apart and dissolving. So anyway, something to be aware of and something for anybody can easily look this up online. And was it Elliot Overton did quite a bit on oxalates and
Sally Norton.
Sally Norton. And then I forget the other lady's name, the one who did the initial research on autistic people. I have to right there. I can't quite remember her name. I haven't talked to her in a while. But anyways, yeah, there's lots of research out there. So this isn't just some like um this isn't some like fringe sort of idea. There's actual a lot of studies that have been done, and oxalate can be measured in food, and oxalate concentration in crystals and stuff like that is obviously could be measured if you can get the crystal out. So go online, look up the pictures and horrify yourself, and then ask yourself, is spinach really making me healthy? Is there really a lot of iron in here that my body can actually absorb? Is that really what I need? Should I really be eating this stuff? That's all a question only you can answer for yourself. But Anyways, you got anything else to add?
Well, just that, if you're been carnivore for 3 to 6 months and it burns when you pee, it may not have been that shady one night stand you had. Could just be oxalate dumping.
Could be, could be. So I didn't really notice any oxalate situations myself, except perhaps calculus on my teeth. Like it came out probably a year after. All of a sudden, I had some calculus, but I had no plaque on my teeth. And calculus is this like protective coating that the body builds up around the bottom edge of your teeth. Usually, when you have a lot of plaque. And so, anyways, the dentist was baffled. So, uh, anyways, but they took it off and it didn't come back. So I'd assume that was my experience with oxalate dumping. But at the end, who really ever knows? So, anyways, we thank you for watching. We hope you found it interesting. We would invite you to pass the link to this video on to other people who might find it interesting. If you've been having vulvar pain, check out the Vulvodynia Association. Maybe they can give you some helpful advice. And look up Elliot Overton or Sally Norton. We could certainly put some links to their work in the show notes for you. But until next time.
Make sure you type my name 3 times in the comments to return me back to this plane. I disappeared into the other realm.
Do we have to stare in the mirror and swirl around a basin of water and say your name 3 times?
Yeah, kind of like Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were Rumple Justin. Anyway, yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know your story. I mean, if you had an experience with oxalate, put it in the comments so we can share it with other people. So, but we appreciate you watching. We appreciate our subscribers. We hope to keep growing our subscription. It means a lot. And until next time, eat some meat, feel better, and whatever you do,
don't fall down the carb hole.